Hey, Piper friends, I'm back at you again after my top 10. I kind of got the day off. I do, but I don't. So I said, well, I'll make another little video, and I do have to go clean that trailer up. This is the first pretty day we've had. The sun is shining bright. It's hovering around 39 or 40 degrees out here, but it's supposed to get up to around 50 today. So this is the first opportunity I've had. Man, it's been just rainy, drizzly, a little bit of sleet, nothing stuck, just been, and my truck looks like it's been run through instead of dark blue, it almost looks gray. I mean, it's just got sludge. It's just horrible looking. So I need to try to look into doing that, and I got to get a haircut. So I've got quite a bit going on today. I am smoking a little tinderbox brand pipe. It's rusticated. I call it an Italian rusticated. It's just reminds me of some of those pointy-toed Italian shoes. I don't know, but that's what I call it anyway. And I am smoking some Esoterica Penzance that Wallace, Mr. Tree Stump, sent me. And Wallace, I have not forgot you, buddy. I've been so busy. I'm gonna holler at you if you're watching. It's just been hectic on me the last couple of weeks, and then we got so much going on trying to finish up this last run at the river market with the Duck Commander deal coming on this weekend. It's just crazy right now. My life is crazy, and I haven't done the first bit of Christmas shopping. Matter of fact, we hadn't put up our tree this year either. This is usually do it Thanksgiving weekend, but we haven't stopped. I mean, so we're going to do it this Sunday. We're putting up a real one this year, and it is. I feel bad for Emily. She hadn't complained, though. Of course, a lot of people are just now putting them up. A lot of people don't put them up till the week before, kind of. So we're going to do an old-timey traditional. We're not going to wait till the week before. We're going to get it Sunday, and then I'm going to strike out on my Christmas shopping Sunday and Monday, too. But as some of y'all know, I get on these kicks occasionally. I love to, I'm kind of a historian, self-proclaimed, and I truly enjoy, this is not the rant, and it's part of it. I'll get to that here in just a minute, and it's not a bad rant. It's Christmas time, and we don't want to rant too bad, but I'm into really musical trivia, not trivia, historical kind of stuff, and I pick a lot of subjects like, and I've told y'all this before. I got on a John Lennon kick, and Alfred's cousin Mike Moon really helped me a lot with that, and I get on a kick of studying musicians and whatnot, and it's just a hobby. And now I've done it all my life. Used to, you'd have to go look at old newspaper clips or the library, of course, with the invention of the internet. Lord, if I'd have had that 25 years ago, but that's really helped a lot. I've done tons of them, and most of them are deceased that I look at. And of course, I've got two right now. One I've been on alone for about a year, and he's truly interesting. And another one I just started here a couple of weeks ago. The one I've been on for a long time, and he's living. He's still living, and he's a character. He is truly a character. Is Jerry Lee Lewis, and he lives in Nesbitt, Mississippi, about 20 miles below Memphis, out in the country, on the Lewis Ranch. And of course, I'm friends with his wife on Facebook, and I get a lot of pictures, a lot of private, pictures from their normal days, that the public might not see, and really enjoy that. And of course, old Jerry's 78 years old, and of course, everybody knows the story of the 13-year-old bride, and all the, how he fell from grace on that and managed to come back, and truly an interesting man. But what I wanted to tell y'all about is, Jerry Lee is a pipe smoker, an avid pipe smoker. Old Jerry's probably got a couple hundred pipes in his collection, and I've sent him tobacco before. I've sent him a couple of blends from MAs and whatnot, and he really liked them. I liked the Ralph's mix, and I think I sent him a Golden Delight, which is a straight Virginia. And his wife told me that his favorite, said it's in a gold. There's one he smokes in a gold pouch and one in a white. And they said, I believe Captain Black. So old Jerry likes a little Captain Black too, So he's not real out there with it. He's down to earth with us, but he's got some extremely expensive Dunhills, and of course he lights them with a big lighter, and you can tell they're all charred. A lot of them are charred around the rim, but he'd been smoking a pipe since the late 50s and still smokes one. Got several pictures on my Facebook deal with a pipe, and he's one of us. So the last one, the one I've been on here lately, and he's more of a folk singer, kind of a rock folk singer, and that's Jim Croce. Jim Croce, I don't know exactly. Some people say Croce or Croce, but Jim Croce, was had Bad Leroy Brown and Time in a Bottle and Operator. Of course, he tragically went down in a plane crash in 1973. And I didn't realize, of course, I didn't realize that he was from up around Guy Witherspoon's area. He's buried there at Berwyn, Guy. And you may know something about that. And if you could, let me know, if you remember any of the events surrounding him. If you could help me, with it, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, he went down. Croce went down in a plane crash about 80 miles southwest of where I'm at, in a little town called Natchitoches, Louisiana. He had played Northwestern State University down there. It's a little coliseum called Prather Coliseum, and it'll hold about 4,000 people. And, from what I can tell, old Jim was a good guy. He was an extremely nice, gentle, he was just a gentleman, And he had just really got popular within 18 months of his death. He was really on his way up, and unfortunately was, lost his life in a plane crash. And there are some questionable events surrounding his death. There is some conspiracy theories, and all the people in the little town of Natchitoches. Of course, Natchitoches, Louisiana is a college town, and it's probably got 10, 12,000 normal population. With college in, there's probably 20 there. But they left in a real big hurry. They had intended to stay the night, and they made last-minute decisions to leave. And of course, the plane struck a pecan tree at the end of the runway. It never gained enough altitude to clear this particular pecan tree, but the pecan tree was off to the left. For some reason, the plane was left of center when it took off, left of the center line. Rumor has it, there in Natchitoches, and the townspeople think, they say the police had really harassed them while they were there about drugs and whatnot. They were doing a stakeout, and they were doing some things. And strangely, the 57-year-old pilot jogged and ran the 3 miles from the motel to the airport. Some reports say he was given a lift by the police. Well, the autopsy report didn't show he had a heart attack, but it showed he had severe coronary artery disease. Now, did the run from the motel, why was he running? He literally was jogging and running. And this was a last-minute, spur-of-the-moment decision to leave Natchitoches, Louisiana. They were headed for Sherman, Texas. The plane went down. Now, the locals say, nobody will say for sure, but the locals say that the police were after him. And they found very little marijuana on the plane. And I don't think they found any on Jim. As a matter of fact, his blood test, toxicology test, came back negative of anything. But the sheriff said they found a lid of marijuana, which is about an ounce. Of course, back in those days, in '73, a little marijuana would get you about as much time in Louisiana as heroin. You may get a hard time over that. Now it's not that big a deal, and I look for them one day to legalize it. But anyhow. Several people have even said that they drained the fuel from the plane to keep it from starting up, but they didn't get the reserve. They were going to try to bust them. Some of this don't make sense, but some of it does. That they were going to drain the fuel to keep the plane from starting up, and then they were going to do their bust, and they left some in the reserve, which coincidentally was just enough to start the plane, but it sputtered out on takeoff. Don't know if this is true. I got my doubts about that, but that's just some of the rumors that have went on in Natchitoches. But it's a very interesting read on the internet. Just Google up Jim Croce, and very interesting. And there is a big conspiracy about that too. But very interesting. But Guy, he's from your part of the country up there. Matter of fact, he's buried there at Berwyn, and apparently he was from there and grew up there. So help me with that if you can. My rant is I went to the doctor today, and of course my followers know I go once a month because of prescriptions that I take. And went today, and of course my blood pressure medicine, he had to change it. Well, he added another one to it. For a long time I had taken two, and I talked him into taking one off because it was doing fine about a year ago. Well, it's creeped back up. What I'm taking won't do it. So he told me today, he said, you've been really lucky though. He said, you're in, 1 out of 10 people can get by with one. He said 7 out of 10 have to take 2 or 3. And he said sometimes even 4. So he said, you've been on the lucky side. So anyway, he prescribed one, and it's still in Walmart's $4 deal because the lisinopril I was taking is what I liked about it. It was cheap for a 30-day supply. But we were talking, another thing he's got me on is Xanaflex, and it's not any connection to Xanax at all. But of course, I do take some pain meds, but it's for musculoskeletal type muscle relaxer, and it's been $23 for a long time. All of a sudden, Walmart went to nearly $100 on it. Walgreens, and so I asked him about it. He said, "Well, I hate to change you, but check around." Sure enough, I checked with Walmart, and they're still $21, $22. But he was telling me today about a medicine that they've been treating people with for gout. He said this medicine is exactly, it's 100 years old. And he said it was $2 at Walmart. And he said, I had hundreds of patients on that for their gout. All of a sudden, this company never patented it. Worked very well. Well, some company slipped in and got the patent on it. Went from $2 to $130. That is robbery. Why do they, that ought to be against the law to be able to, like he said, there was thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of patients nationwide that depended on that. A lot of elderly took it with their gout, and it worked. Now they can't, people can't afford it. $130 is a good bit of money for medication if you don't have any insurance or anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been in business all my life. I'm a capitalist. But corporate America sometimes will absolutely put the shade to us. And that's what, whoever done this, don't know the name of the company, and I can't even remember the name of the drug. I'm gonna find it out from him when I go back. But, that's what's wrong in this country right now. Why are we paying so much more for prescription drugs? Everything has went up, especially with this new healthcare deal. The medicines I'm taking are up about $40 a month and going higher. And that's not including if I have to wind up paying much for the Xanaflex. But, where does it stop? How much more can we afford? And he said today, my brother is 28 years old. He said for his wife, himself, and his little girl, who's like 2 years old, they were paying $327 a month for their health insurance. Had a good coverage, $1,000 deductible, total out of pocket. He said they got a notice the other day to maintain a $5,000 deductible and a total of, I don't know, it's more than that total out of pocket, or maybe 5 is total out of pocket, went to $891 a month. Who's got 500 and something more dollars? But that's what we're looking at. People, we got to get a hold of this situation. We got to quit electing these people that do this to us, and we got to elect some people that's going to look out for us. If you don't, we're going to be in trouble real soon. That's my rant. It wasn't too bad, but anyway, out of time. Have a good one. Merry Christmas. God bless.